On the edge of retirement.
Aww, you got this.
Just keep it around, John. Can you hear me in the back row?
Yeah.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I have prepared some written remarks about Dr. Moe. Gordon Harlan Moe was born September 8th in the early 1950s. He was raised in Silver. His father was a hops farmer, and his mother taught English.
Aww.
This background is likely the basis for his two basic life skills: the ability to drink beer and still speak in complete sentences. He attended Silverton High School, where he was awarded the Safe Driving Medal of Honor for remaining alive throughout his 4 years of school. Feeling constrained by small-town life in Silverton, he broke bonds with parental control and traveled to Eugene, Oregon to attend the University of Oregon. Demonstrating his zeal for medicine from the outset, he declared a French major. No doubt looking forward to studying medicine at the Sorbonne. It's likely that his parents counseled him to study something more practical, more germane. Even German would have been better. But everyone knows you can't tell a college student anything, so he stuck with French. He earned the prestigious, and help me if I'm getting this wrong for you, Diplôme de l'attribution de la valeur contestables du collège, which Google Translate tells me college degree of questionable value. With this degree, he was able to secure admission to medical school in Italy. I was never a language major, so I don't know for sure, but I think they have some type of reciprocity with the French. Anyway, I'm sure the French came in handy while he was studying medical terminology in Italian. At least he could order off the wine list at French restaurants. He attended medical school in Rome, where he converted to Catholicism and worked nights at the Vatican for the Swiss Guard. They use a lot of Norwegians after dark. After his third year of medical school, he was sitting on a beach on one of the Greek Isles. I believe he was studying anatomy. Suddenly remembered that he hadn't spoken to his mother for weeks. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
He was also running out of money buying all that ouzo and Greek salad. He made his way to the post office, where a foreigner could place a call to the United States through a system so painful that a modern cell phone user can only begin to understand the process by taking out a home loan. Anyway, he finally got connected to his Mamma Mia, and she told him that he'd been admitted to the OHSU medical school for his final year, and he needed to start in a week. 2 weeks?
2 years.
2 years. First, final 2 years. Must have been one of the greatest transition weeks of all time. Well, medical school was a breeze for Gordy, studying in English, and he graduated in only 2 years. Most of us spent 4. Taking the easy way out, he was accepted as an intern at Hennepin County Medical Center, which, if you don't know, is kind of a boutique hospital in downtown Minneapolis that specializes in cosmetic surgery and trauma. Well, mostly trauma. Mostly trauma. From there, he went to Saginaw, Michigan for his general surgery residency. If you can't picture Saginaw on the map, it's up near Lake Huron, near the towns of Tittabawassee, Pigeon, and my favorite, Bad Axe. He worked hard as a resident, presumably since there are no pictures, written accounts, or any other evidence of a private life outside the hospital, like all of us, and completed the program in 1984, now destined for the carefree life of general surgery. He moved to Salem, enticed by his uncle Hume Downs, surgeon at Salem Clinic, who was the son of surgeon Chester Downs, one of the 3 original founders of Salem Clinic in 1925. It's impressive. Resisting the urge to take over the entire clinic and run it as a family fiefdom, Gordy toiled tirelessly in the trenches of societal surgical servitude. He spent hours up to his elbows in warm entrails, bathed in pus and blood, exhausted in lonely solitude. Oh, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. That was supposed to be a description of one of his elk hunting trips. He did work hard at Salem Clinic and was loved by his patients. More importantly, he was and is loved by the staff who worked with him.
Yeah.
They describe him as cordial, pleasant, kind, thoughtful, helpful, and a snappy dresser in the OR. Some of the OR nurses would actually request to work in the same room with him. We all know how rare that is. We asked his longtime colleague at Salem Clinic, Everett Moselle, for some thoughts, and he said, if he's the guy I'm thinking of, he's the best surgeon assistant you could ask for. He's in great physical shape for his age, and a proud Norwegian who actually likes lutefisk, although I'm not sure he's ever been to Norway. But be careful, he's particularly sensitive about his baldness. Now, to be fair, this is coming from a guy who probably uses part of his mustache as a toupee. Gordy, I have to say, I have never noticed any indication of hair loss in any of my sessions with you in the operating room. But if indeed it is true that you are follicularly challenged, some useful phrases to employ, which I found today on the internet, are, I'm just taller than my hair. Or, this is a skullet. Mullet. Or, and I'm not sure where this came from, this is a solar panel for a sex machine. But enough about work. That's what Gordy realized after taking a sabbatical year in the mid-1990s, pulling his girls out of school, buying a sailboat, and sailing for the Caribbean for a carefree year of rum, sodomy, and the lash. Oh wait, that's the British Navy. Gordy was after sun, sand, and molasses. I've heard he actually did do some sailing, one time dragging his anchor at night and ending up in the shipping lane. But spent the majority of his time doing boat maintenance, waiting for parts to arrive, or hunkering down until the hurricanes passed. Returning to work, he realized he didn't have to, and entered the phase of his career that we know now. Able-bodied, super-skilled surgical assistant, able to step in and finish the case anytime one of us keels over with a heart attack or has to leave the room to take a cell phone call from our stockbroker. Anyone in the OR will tell you it is a true pleasure to have him in on a case. Surgeons will often engage in bidding wars or resort to fist fighting to secure his services. Teresa tells me we've already lined up cases well into 2017. As we're pretty sure that Gordy will find retirement to be not quite as fun as he hoped and will want to come back after a few weeks off. Outside of work, Gordy loves to bike ride, camp, drive unusual vehicles, visit the desert, and drink. And I may have the order wrong. He also likes to light things on fire and blow stuff up, which is why we get along so well. In one memorable instance of combining his many loves, he was in the desert on a camping trip, driving his Volkswagen Thing. One of his friends pulled up next to him and shouted, "Pull over, you're on fire."
My sister.
Your sister? Not even your friend. It took a family member to tell you. Your car's on fire, Gordy. I'm not sure which of Gordy's 2 favorite phrases he responded with, but probably either, "Hey, watch this," or, What's the worst that could happen? He's been all over the world on multiple medical mission trips at his own expense, and occasionally traveling for fun, also at his own expense. Not too long ago, he had the opportunity to visit his daughter Lucy in Senegal as she finished 2 years in the Peace Corps. His older daughter Laura and Barb traveled with him, and at one point they were staying in a really swanky 5 or maybe even 6-star hotel.
Oh God! Oh no!
Filled with wealthy French tourists. Barb, where are you? Will you come up and tell the rest of the story? It's a good one.
So, as many of you might imagine, Africa took its toll on us. It's not Montezuma's revenge there, it's Africa revenge. And we were in the hotel, it was the last few days of our trip, and it was a swanky hotel. And the Amnesty International was having a conference there while we were there. Yeah. So we're laying by the pool trying to rest and relax, and Gordy unfortunately kind of has a little episode where he needs to go to up to the room, and as he's coming back, he doesn't have his glasses with him. And so he's walking by the pool to get back to where his chair is, and he sees someone standing there, and
His daughter.
his daughter, and so as a joke, he walks past her and pushes her in the pool. Only it wasn't his daughter. It was an incredibly irate French woman who came up out of the water, swearing in French, but mostly complaining about how he had ruined her manicure. His daughter, who he thought it was, is sitting on...
Okay, all right. So Gordy, I'd like to tell you... Elise, good, thank you. This is ad-lib, that's right, you're over here, dear. Oh, on the ground. So Gordy, I would like to thank you very much for being a superb assistant and keep us on task, but we do have to talk about manners in the OR. Okay, and today we have to make sure the staff have a positive, nurturing environment. Okay, correct?
He didn't tell me he was going to say this.
All right. Okay. Now, when I get into trouble, is John Ross here tonight? Okay, I break into a Lutheran song, "A Mighty Fortress is Our God," and Dr. Moe will break into and Dr. Moe will kind of break into topics about, former relationships, how he loves marriage as a nurturing environment, and sometimes it's politically incorrect. So, Dr. Moe.
Turn around. Turn around.
Thank you.
That wasn't really in the script, Gordy. I really apologize. This is supposed to be a roast, not a public humiliation. Resume your seat. Gordy, it's been an honor to be your colleague, former friend. It really has been a pleasure to work with you all these years. And I'm hopeful you can keep that bright, shining light towards the end of the tunnel of employment for the rest of us, illuminating the green grass, the desert sand, the beautiful beaches, and the beer that made us all in the fire. Thank you, Lord.